Hi, Healing Streams podcast family. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. If this is your very first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Healing Streams podcast where we talk about faith, healing, discovery, identity, hope, and love. My name is Akimbode Victoria Aduragbeni, and here with me are.
I am Ilya Adesanya.
Okay, we've been talking about identity and established what identity is not and how to grab your identity, the things that you need to discover in order to know that okay, this is what I stand for. But today we are here for those who are confused. We are here for those who are confused, who are still finding it very difficult to figure out their identity, to know where they stand, what they stand for, who they truly are. We are here to trash out that today. It is very important for us to help our viewers out there who are finding it difficult, who are confused. So I just want to ask that this is just for those who are confused, who are trying to figure out their identity, who are trying to figure out what they really stand for, who they really are, and what they stand for generally. So how do they discover their identity? How do they know their identity? How do they associate themselves with their identity?
Okay, how do you know your identity? I want to believe that in the former video or in the previous one rather, we talked about this and just shed a lot of light on the fact that the the best place to know your identity is from the person that created you, which is God. So I think that's just a starting point. Going back to God, going back to the drawing board. But you have to understand that you have to have a relationship with your father, with God, to be able to communicate with him. So let's even go a bit back and just start with the fact that you have to be born again. You have to have accepted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. And then you have to communicate with him. He's the one that made you. So he therefore knows the best path for you. He knows the best way for you to go through life. So being confused about your identity, it's possible. It's not an impossibility. It's actually possible that you are confused and you don't know what next to do. You don't know the next step to take. But then you just have to go back to the drawing board, go back to your father, and then he sheds light on it all.
Tomke, do you have anything to say about that?
Well, yeah, just illustrating the condition. That's what I India said. So, when you get a text and in a book, right, for you to, before you even read or get to know actually what is in that book, if you by chance get to meet the author and have a one-on-one communication about that book, is that even though you might still need to go and read that book, even without reading it in the first place, you have a whole knowledge of whatever you are doing in that book. So also is getting getting knowledge about identity. You need to actually know the author of identity, so to speak. And just as the man rightly explained, you need to go back to the first, to the beginning, which is of course God. Not personally transition.
The next question is what are the causes of this confusion? What are those factors that causes all of this confusion? Because a lot of things can, even for those that they already know their identity, they know who they are. There are some factors that just make them doubt their identity or doubt their personality, doubt what they stand for, who they are. A lot of circumstances can cause confusion. So what are those causes rather? What are those causes of being confused about identity?
Okay. You know, sometimes let's look at this for example. So God has told you that He's going to bless you. Okay. Let's even go to the Bible. Let's use Abraham. God promised him that he's going to be the father of many nations at age 75, right? And then 10 years down the line, not even one yet, 15, 20. So, sometimes when we don't see the expected results as fast as we expect it could make us begin to doubt. It could make us begin to wonder, did I actually hear God say this? Am I sure that that's what God said? So I think one thing that causes confusion is not because we do not know. It's just because our timeline, the timeline that we have earmarked for something to happen, has maybe passed. So that's one thing I feel can actually cause confusion because you begin to doubt. But he said, but God said, but so I think, yeah, one thing that could cause confusion is um, maybe a kind of delay from our end in getting what we wanted on time.
Tumke.
Yeah, in addition to what Amy has said, I think another thing that causes confusion most times is listening to external voices. And what do I mean by external voices? Just like Amy has said, okay, God has told somebody this, God has told you this, and you are so sure of that, but along the line, something comes up that is looking contrary. Knowingly or unknowingly, just what people are saying and just forgetting the initial thing God has actually said. So I think listening to external voices brings about confusion.
Okay. I think one other thing I feel causes confusion is I think in one of the daily codes, I think for last week, we spoke about comparison. Now, the truth of the matter is by the time you begin to compare yourself with people or with somebody, whether you believe or not, you are shifting your eye away from the goalpost. You are shifting your eye away from the end game. And the moment you shift your eye away from the end game, you are gone. You get confused, and then you lose sight on what is. So I think one thing that also causes confusion is comparison. Oh, maybe let's use for example, God called you and somebody into ministry at the same time, and then you are not seeing the result you expected yourself to see, and then commanding hundreds and thousands of people. He calls for revival and thousands show up. And you call for revival and you're just seeing they are delivering definition of where two or three are gathered. So it could act and you begin to compare. It could actually cause you to like shift eye from what God is actually calling you to and then get confused. Did he really call me? Am I sure he did not just say I should be an helper and all those? So I think yeah, that also causes it.
Okay. So factors of the society, factors of external influences. So another question I have is that the society has so much um influenced what we call that this identity. This society has so much influenced it, right? So what does the society in quotes right now, what does it define identity?
Um, the society defines identity as a lot of things, as your past, as what you are doing right now. So I'm not, I don't really understand what that question is about, though. So can you like really explain what the question is about?
Okay, do you have something to say?
Well, yeah, I'll just say, what the society has defined identity to be is should not count as a definition because of the topic. So you cannot actually pinpoint that and say, okay, this is what, like Julian said, like, there are a lot of things as what you just choose or decide to do or decide to do. It's really hard to take society as to define definition for identity.
What I've seen is that it's not that they have like given it a definition. Not that they have given it a definition. It's just something that we just walk into unconsciously. It's something we walk into unconsciously. Like there was a time that it was trending in Nigeria that at the end of the day, a lady ends up in her husband's kitchen and her husband's bedroom. That's like a societal mindset of who a woman is, who a girl child is. That no matter the education, no matter the book you read, no matter the school you go, at the end of the last work father was the kitchen only and the bedroom. So that's is not something that okay we have defined it like it's just something that we unconsciously walk into. There's this mindset that for the ladies you should be able to know how to do anything home house, you must know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you're not a woman. You're not a woman. But for the guys, well, enjoy TV, enjoy this, enjoy that. So it's just something that we have worked, and all, if we actually notice, it's something that we have unconsciously infused into ourselves as a person that I am this person or I am from this part and we believe in this, we believe in that. And all of those things just unconsciously it becomes a part of us. It becomes something that in fact it is something that we transfer from generation to generation. You keep telling you like, why are you not in the kitchen when your mother is cooking? As a girl, you understand all of those kind of all those things, something that the society has unconscious or we have unconsciously accepted as individuals because we relate with these people, we have conversations with these people, we sleep in the same house with them, we wake up with them, some of them we work with them, we relate with them, some of them are our friends. So it's something that either we like it or not, it's an environmental something, it's something that we have infused into ourselves. So that's just what I'm trying to say. Or do you have anything to say about that?
Honestly, yeah, I think the society's definition or whatever of identity should not really matter to you because 1 minute society can call you a failure and the next minute they call you a success. So you tying who you are to what society says about you, you just keep changing like the chameleon. Today you are depressed, tomorrow you are happy, the next minute you are just there. So yes, society has its definition. Society has its own interpretation of identity. But yeah, society, somebody to one part of society you are happy, to another part of society you are unhappy. So or you are depressed. So really, I think in as much as society has its own definition, it shouldn't really count in the grand scheme of things.
Nothing, nothing much, nothing different from what I've said earlier. Just an addition to what I already have said. Really, when you go to look for a word right in the dictionary, you like tend to see a meaning to that word, right? But for the society, I mean, if you ask, like, if you just try to look at identity from the perspective of the society, I mean, you will definitely get more confused. So I mean, why get confused and try to make a headway? Why not just go the right way? So I actually like me as well the definition or what the perspective of the society in regards to identity really might not might not come.
The fact is that you are first an individual before infusing yourself into the society. You are first an individual, so you shouldn't allow, and that is why you really need to know what you stand for, like stand gidigba, so that even when you now when you join the society, you don't allow um their definition to influence your own perspective about who you are, what you stand for. It should only encourage you to stand for who you are. You shouldn't, because of anybody or anything, change your identity and your perspective. Stay true to yourself, stay true to what you stand for, stay true to who you are, stay true to whatever. And the thing is that, like you both have said earlier, that we still need to go back to our author, which is God. Who is God? He is the one who knows us, who has the manuscript. And that is why we said in the last episode that we need to make the scriptures our friend, because that is where we find the truth about ourselves. That is where we find the reality, everything that we need to know about ourselves. And something very beautiful is that the scripture says that we are the apple of God's eyes. We are created in his image and after his likeness. We are the apple of God's eyes. We are God's masterpiece. Like the scriptures tells us everything that we need to know, and we actually in the place of prayer and seeking God's face, we also need to know, because it is from us knowing our identity that it leads to us understanding our purpose, why we are here on earth, why we were born into the family we're born into, why God just places us in so certain places, in certain positions. There's a reason. But if you don't know all of those things, then you are misled, you are misdirected, you just lose focus, you lose guard, and you begin to do what God did not send you, begin to do things God did not send you, or you don't even go that direction at all. And that's that's a big mistake, because it will lead to wasted years, wasted time, and wasted effort. Thank you, wasted effort. You don't want to have all of those wasted, and that is why, as of now, it is time for you to discover your purpose. It's time for you to discover what you stand for. The fact is that there are some, I said we should write things that are talent, things that we discover, our abilities, the things that we stand for. And I said that in the last video, that we should do all of those things, because all of those things will direct us, will tell us and show us where we really stand or what we really stand for. I don't know if there is any last word from any of us. Tomike, do you have something to say? Tomike, do you have something to say?
No, none from me.
Okay, that we just says that identity requires patience. It requires prayers. It requires staying in God's presence consistently to really know, because discovering who you are does not happen in a day, it does not happen in 2 days, it does not happen in a week, in a month. It is something you keep evolving in, it's something you keep discovering day by day, consistently. And that is why you have to make the presence of God your dwelling place, the presence of God your home, the presence of God your comfort zone, where you learn all of those things. Um I'm sure that if we all start saying some of these things, if we will tell, we will be able to say that as at 5 years, 4 years, 6 years, 7 years, we didn't know that we'll be doing the things that we are doing. It is because we evolved into all of those things. We discovered ourselves. We decided to know. okay, I love doing this thing. What is God saying about this thing that I love to do? Is it something I should ride on? Is it something that I should continually do? And it's just something that we have to keep asking ourselves, keep asking God, and it just comes with observation. We have to learn to observe, we have to learn to discover ourselves, observe the things that you do, the things that you love to do, your traits, your personality, your abilities, the things that you love to do, because it is from those things that you discover who you are, what you stand for, what you love to do, what God is saying about your purpose and your view and the will of God for your life. So, Ini, I don't know if you have any last word for us.
Well, last words. Stay true to yourself. Stick with God. It's the it's just the best thing ever. Sticking with God is the best thing ever. When it comes to your identity, stay with Him. That's the best thing. It's not going to be exactly easy. It's going to be worth it. Not going to be easy. At some point, you may look draining and all, but it's just the best. Yeah, that's what I would say. Stick with Him.
Or do you want to say something?
Sorry, I just
Okay.
want to have to, before we just wrap up, right? Yeah, so I want to say that identity itself, I would rather I see it as a journey and not an achievement. And why did I say that? Discovering identity or knowing identity leads to an end, not just knowing itself. So I mean, what's the essence of getting to know identity without just picking purpose? It's as good as feeling nothing. So let's not see identity as or the tribe as such, but let's see it as a means to an end. That's just it.
Identity is a journey, so see it as a means to an end. And I hope that we've been able to help you trash out certain questions that you have in your heart. We've been able to help you trash out a lot of things that you might have in your mind and in your heart. Please do well to like, to share, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And please, we have a podcast. Please do well to listen to our podcast on every platform on Spotify, Amazon Music, and all of those good places. Anywhere you can find our podcast, just search for Hidden Streams Podcast and you just see we have 40 episodes, and that's a lot. That's a lot of message for you. Please do well to listen and do well to follow us. Follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. That's where you get to see our daily codes and all of those good stuff. So don't miss out on what God has for you every day. God has a word for you every day, every blessed day. Please do well to follow us and have a great time.
Bye.
Bye.